about the positive effects that it had on us. There has been many discoveries throughout human evolution, and it's impossible to rank their importance. At a point on our lives, they played a big role, and we was not aware of it. Maybe we were. For example, when we get ill, we take a medicine, or we have an operation. When we need to go somewhere, we get in a plane, or hop on a bus, or when we want to contact our friends, we pull out our cell phones. None of these things would have happened without the scientific discoveries behind them. Even when we are very young, we always ask the question, why? Mom, why is the sky blue? And try to find answers or solutions to our problems, both for ourselves and for our world. Evolution has made us into the ultimate learning machine, and these machines need a healthy dash of curiosity to work efficiently. As the time passes, our needs and problems change, and when eventually these change, we need new technology, new concepts, and so on. We generally know about the historic scientific breakthroughs, like the invention of penicillin, antibiotics, X-ray, or the law of segregation. They are always present in our curriculum and our school books. But scientific discoveries of equal impact are being made every day. We may not know about them or learn about them in our science class, but that doesn't mean that they are not important. Technology is developing so rapidly these days that discoveries that were not possible in the past are now possible. The 3D printer concept is a pretty common thing now, but if you had told that to someone we could do that in the past, they would think that you were delusional. Did you know that we can now print human organs with those 3D printers? So soon we may not need organ donors or organ transplant surgery. That invention was completed just this year. Other innovations in 2016 included a possible HIV vaccine and the first man-made leaf, to just name a few. Imagine being able to increase the oxygen supply of our world without waiting for 8 years for a tree to grow. One project that really got my attention was the SPICE project. This stands for stratospheric particle injection for climate engineering, but I know that sounds a little bit sciencey. Simply put, when volcanoes erupt, there are particles that are released into the air, and these particles then go further up and reach the stratosphere. And the sun rays that are coming down to Earth are blocked, making space below them cool. Cool, a volcano. Are you out of your mind? A thing that splashes 1007 degrees Celsius of lava around itself can cool down that space? The magnificent breakthrough was made right in the middle of this imbalance. The scientists are working on projects that are trying to simulate the cooling effects of these particles without the harmful consequences, of course. They're trying to create this simulation to stop global warming. They're going to use it in places where unexpectedly high temperatures are often seen. How amazing is that? A solution to the biggest problem that our world is facing right now. This was just discovered last year, but despite our precious media sources, we don't know a lot about it, which in my opinion is very sad. This project was sponsored by world-famous universities and organizations like Cambridge, Oxford, Bristol, Edinburgh, and SCSC. But even so, it was cancelled because they could not get government approval due to perceived conflict of interest. In this case, political relationships between countries seemed more important than the health of our skin or the global climate change. Another significant invention that you may not know about is the car engine that runs on ordinary tap water instead of diesel or oil. Yes, you heard it right, on ordinary tap water. In 2009, a company called Genepax invented a system to convert your car from oil to water. The funny thing about their invention is that they're not selling it, they're teaching you how to do it, with just a few items you can find easily on the market. You just need a homemade hydrogen generator, an air filter, a T-connector, and a fuser. All of the other materials already exist in your car. But of course, the one and only oil industry. It makes up about 6.5% of our world economy, so no country is willing to give up their share because of the competition between them. even though the use of oil and fossil fuel is one of the major problems that causes air and environmental pollution in our world today. All of the breakthroughs that I have mentioned today are amazing. They can be considered as the biggest discoveries of our era, and there is so much more where they came from. The scientists behind the projects are just waiting to go. But there are obstacles, blockages that prevent them from bringing their projects to life. Many projects are just waiting for a green light, but many are inhibited by politics, lack of funding, lack of support, or recognition. They say that ignorance is bliss, but actually it's not. We have to know how to research in order to prevent ourselves from falling into its brutal hands. It may seem like the young generation has no power to make a difference, but that's not true. By finding about these things and sharing information with others, we can help these projects reach a wider audience, more support, and maybe even more funding. Show your support to the scientists. It does not have to be material. Moral support is always appreciated. I sent an email to the SPICE project to tell them about my support and interest in their project. It might seem like a small thing, but showing your gratitude towards something does not mean that you're weak. On the contrary, it's the start of something new and exciting. You could sign a petition, or you could start one. You can prepare posters and hang it out in your school, or you can talk about these subjects when you're hanging out with your families or friends. Or maybe you could write emails to governments and companies to lobby their decisions. Big things start with small steps, even the greatest inventions. So, what are you planning to do to change the world?